All right, now an additional demonstration that I'd like to go through here is not only determining who the root bridge is, I would also like to be able to manipulate the decision that's being made. Now, when we look at this, understand right now, I've changed nothing since the last demonstration. Nexus 9K1 is the root bridge in this topology. Now, what I want to do is I want to change that, and we need to look at what made this decision possible. So if we look at the MAC address of the switch 9K1, we see that that number is 5000.001.0007. Now, when we start looking at how this is derived, this is based on the virtual system ID of this switch. Now, if I look at another device, let's look at N9K2 and execute the same command here. Only what I want to do is I want to look at this switch's ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say show spanning tree for VLAN 100. Now I want to look at the configuration that is the bridge ID. So we see here, this is the identity of the root bridge. This is the identity of the local switch, since I'm not the root bridge because these two values don't match. Notice that the difference here is 5000.002. 5000.002 is a bigger hexadecimal number than 5000.001. And what we find here is that's the reason that 9K1 is elected to be the root bridge. But what I want to also call your attention to here is the only reason that the system MAC address was used to elect the root bridge is because the priorities tied. So if we see here, the priority is 32. Let's see, for the bridge ID, excuse me, the priority is 32868. If I come over here and I take a look at the same output, the priority here is 32868. So they tie. So as long as the priority values tie, the lowest system MAC address is going to be the device or the value that determines who's going to become the root bridge. Now what I want to do is I want to modify that, and I can modify that by making this value arbitrarily lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say configure terminal, and I'm going to come in and say spanning tree VLAN 100, and I'm going to say use a priority, and you notice I'm going to have the capability of being able to specify priority values in increments of 4096. Now the lower the value, the better. So if I come over here and I use the value of 0, I can't go any lower. So what should happen now is this device here in 9K2 should actually become the root bridge. Now this is a reconvergence event, which means I'm going to recalculate who is the root bridge, and that information is going to have to be propagated. And we're going to look at that later on after we have a little bit more theoretical conversation, but I wanted to demonstrate how to manipulate who becomes elected the root bridge. So now if I come over here and I say show spanning tree for VLAN 100 and I say root, what we're going to see now is N9K2 is the root bridge, and this is its root ID. And just to verify that 9K1 agrees, we now see that it is 002. But I want to make something else very clear, and it's easier to do it here. If I come over here and say show spanning tree for VLAN 100 and hit enter, notice what we see here. The priority is 100. I changed it to 0. But keep in mind, remember that in Cisco's deployment, the bridge ID, the bid that's going to be put forth in the BPDU that's going to be exchanged, it's going to determine the selection, has the extended system ID added to it. Here we see it says locally I have a priority of 32868, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 100 to that value, and that's how I calculate that. So 32868 is going to be 32768 plus 100. And the same thing holds true for here. So if I say show spanning tree for VLAN 100, we're going to see as it relates to the local computation, here we say the priority is 0, but we're going to add the extended system ID, which is just the VLAN number at the end of the day, as we can see right here, and that determines my priority. The switch that has the lowest priority will become the root bridge for the VLAN that was specified in the spanning tree VLAN priority command. So this is very useful, and you may be called upon at some point in your certification future to determine or to demonstrate that you can determine which specific switch in a layer 2 fabric is going to become the root bridge. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.